Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Lando from The Snap coming at you with Waiver Wire Week 3. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this content, and drop it in the comments down below if you have specific questions, whether it's how much FAAB you want to spend, what priority to organize in. We will let you know any questions you have in the comments below, so make sure to do that. Number one, I'm going to start off with the running backs position because that's the information you need to know. The notable injuries that happened was Darrell Henderson that went down to a rib injury, and that leaves Sony Michel in line for a very good opportunity. Now, the only issue is the Rams play the Buccaneers that have some of the most difficult defense to play against running backs. So you need to really figure out if you're willing to spend up on Sony Michel, if you are in dire straits, if you're willing to start him against the Bucs. That's going to be a tough decision to make. If it was me, and if I was in dire straits, I would put between maybe 15% FAAB on Sony Michel because it only could be a 1 week rental. So that's the biggest concern I have with spending a lot of money on Sony Michel this week. We need to keep our eye on Jonathan Taylor as well for week 3 coming in. It's a really good matchup against the Titans, but check to see Marlon Mack is only 9% owned. I think he's a very good speculative add just in case Jonathan Taylor misses time. Right now, there aren't any reports that he's going to miss extended period of time, but make sure you check to see if Marlon Mack is available and if Nyheim Hines is available. He is mostly owned in all leagues, but check to see if Nyheim Hines is available because he could see more work in the passing game against a very susceptible Tennessee defense. Other guys that you might have questions about is Cordarrelle Patterson. Had a big game in week 2, but I am not going to spend up on Cordarrelle Patterson. Mike Davis is still used quite a bit in the backfield. It just got lucky with those 2 touchdowns for Patterson. I'm not spending up on Cordarrelle Patterson. I will put my chips on maybe a wide receiver in that situation. Other guys you may be questioning about is James White and Tony Pollard. James White is 42% owned, and I would consider putting a little bit on him, especially in PPR leagues. And then Tony Pollard, you should add if he's available. And basically, even if you don't own Zeke, you should still add Tony Pollard. He can be a play week in and week out. You don't feel comfortable starting him, but if you are in desperate need, Tony Pollard is definitely a start. At the wide receiver position, you should be looking at Rondale Moore. I've been talking about Rondale Moore for weeks. So if you're a follower of the podcast, you already own Moore. He is 33% owned. He saw a massive boom week this week, and that's going to happen with that kind of run after catch kind of player like Rondale Moore. He did have a broken play that had that big touchdown. Besides that, he wasn't that good, but he's still seeing the targets. I believe he is the second best receiver on the Arizona Cardinals, and that means a ton of opportunity and a ton of touchdown opportunity for Rondale Moore. KJ Osborn is the number 2 wide receiver I'm talking about because he had another great week. He is available in almost every single league. So he is a add, especially if you're down on the waiver priority and you have a couple bucks to spare and you have a wide receiver needy spot, you could put a bit on KJ Osborn. He's about 6 foot, 200 pounds. He's a big wide receiver, and if he's going to establish himself as the number 3 for the Vikings, he's worth an add. Now, a couple guys you should check on is still Sterling Shepard. We talked about him and saw him on Thursday. He seems to be really good for the New York Giants. He's 57% owned. Check to see if Sterling Shepard's available. He will be a flex position or flex consideration all season long. The tight end position is always messy, guys. And you could look at Jared Cook, Dawson Knox, Jack Doyle, Austin Hooper, Evan Ingram might be a sneaky add as he starts getting healthy. But if you're running into the stream position, just look out for the best matchup for week 3, and that's probably who I would go with. Honestly, all these guys are touchdown dependent guys. Jack Doyle saw quite a bit of targets this week, but now there's the question mark about Carson Wentz and whether he's willing to play as well. Hopefully Baker Mayfield is healthy because Austin Hooper is a consideration always for me. At the quarterback position, Derek Carr seems to be the real deal, and the Las Vegas Raiders are a good team so far. They've had 2 really good wins, so if you're in dire straits, maybe think about Derek Carr. But the big ones we're talking about, Justin Fields may get the opportunity over Andy Dalton. And then the 2 super flex formats you're looking at is Jacoby Brissett and Jacob Eason. Both guys are probably available in super flex formats and should be considered. a priority on your FAAB. Now, we'll see how serious the injuries are for the starting quarterbacks. Carson Wentz have both ankles injured, so Jacob Eason is definitely a consideration, and he has that rushing potential. So I would put between 10 to 20% on Jacob Eason if you are losing Tua or Carson Wentz. And as far as Jacoby Brissett, he's a veteran. He'll get the ball to the right people. He doesn't have a high ceiling guy upside, but again, right around that same range, maybe 25% for Jacoby Brissett. A couple guys you should check to see if to stash them is going to be Curtis Samuel. He's a potential stash on the Washington football team if he comes back from injury. And a couple players that you should look to see if they're available. They're widely owned. Latavius Murray and Zach Moss. Kenneth Gainwell is also getting some decent looks as well in the backfield for the Philadelphia Eagles. So make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this content. Check out our Discord community, and all the links are in the episode description. Thanks a lot, guys, and we will see you next time.